All Bros podcast. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we are a couple of aspiring filmmakers that love to watch and critique movies, but also enjoy a lot of bit of the nerd life. This week on the podcast, we got a few new figures to talk about. Not a whole ton. Just a few different lines. We got some... I don't even know. Transformers, I'll say. We got Transformers, we got Queen, and we got The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah.
And Blu-rays, Rose is going to update us on the Blu-ray releases of the week. Nothing in this week's sneak peeks, unfortunately, but that just makes us get to our main event of the evening, which will be our breakdown of Home Alone.
The OG.
Shit, yeah. So, with that, let's say we get into it.
Let's do it.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Donnie, and I host the Adulting with Donnie podcast. And this is not the show to listen to if you're trying to be a better adult. I started this podcast as a way to offload some thoughts that I have throughout the week. My topics vary widely every week. Movies I've seen, guns and gun control, sex, people that are stupid, why I don't care about celebrity opinions, TV shows, snowmobiling. The list goes on and on. I'm always taking topic suggestions from fans of the show too. So join me each week on Adulting with Donnie as I pour some bourbon and allow you to see the inner workings of the mind of a madman. Live free and rant hard.
Alrighty, first up in Adventures in Hunting, starting with pop figures. The first figure that we're going to talk about is from Transformers, and Rose, I mean, you know what these look like a little bit better than I do.
Yes. So, I didn't really watch the show growing up, nor did I've actually never seen the movie, or like the original animated movie. I've only seen the Michael Bay films, so I don't know a lot about, like how their designs worked in the original show. But apparently, I think this one actually already went live, but it's still really cool to talk about. And it is the Target exclusive Starscream from the original Transformers series. It's amazing looking at how many colors Starscream has, and then looking how basic he is in the actual movies. He's just
dude, he's super basic.
He's just plain gray. And also, okay, maybe it's just me, but is Starscream a little bitch in the Transformers movies?
Dude, he is hell of a bitch.
He thinks he's all that when Megatron's not there, and then when Megatron, comes back, he's just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, Lord Megatron, I didn't mean to not do well while you were gone, and it's just like, dude, you're such a little bitch. That's what Starscream is. Blackout or freaking Bone Crusher should have just overpowered him, and they should have been the leader of the Decepticons while Megatron was frozen in ice.
Yeah, Starscream kind of sucks. At least in the Michael Bay.
He does.
Who knows what he's like in the cartoon.
He was really fun to play though, as in did you ever play the Transformers game from the first movie?
Yes, we played that a couple times together.
I freaking love that game. Wait, we did?
Oh, that game was bitchin'. Yeah, you brought it over.
Oh yeah.
It was on the PS2.
Oh yeah. Yeah, oh dude, that's one of the greatest movie-based games I've ever played. So much fun. But no, I remember Starscream was actually pretty cool in that one.
Yeah, I mean, he's cool in the game, but I think what threw me off, especially with the Michael Bay designs, all the Decepticons looked exactly the same, I feel.
That's true, and
in
I feel
one
that's
way
kind
or
of
another.
The point. Just because they're the bad ones, he wanted them to look basic as hell. But I never really...
That's stupid.
It is, but I never noticed this in the movies. But if you play the Transformers game, when you're fighting as the Decepticons and you have to defeat Ironhide as Blackout, I never realized how freaking ginormous Blackout is compared to Ironhide. I know people can't see this, but Caleb, here's Ironhide. Way up here is freaking Blackout. He
Jeez.
towers Ironhide. I was like, holy shit.
Dude,
So,
that's freaking
I'm
nuts.
like, okay, yeah, no, Ironhide didn't stand a chance against Blackout. And the fact that Blackout has Scorponok, yeah, he was screwed from the get-go.
Yeah.
But
They had there's a few figures that we kind of, like, forgot, but there's another Transformers one, and it looks like kind of like a dark Optimus Prime.
oh shit, really?
Like, did we ever talk about that one?
I don't think we did. I don't know how I missed that. Oh yeah, shit, there it is.
Someone's...
Oh, that's bitchin'.
Yeah, dude, you missed a shit ton of figures.
Well, I'm sorry. Well, I think I missed these because they were on the Funko shop and they're already sold out. Because,
there's...
everything sells out in the at the Funko shop, let's face it. Or almost all of them.
Yeah, so Starscream he's okay. I mean, not my favorite Transformers figure.
No, I mean, I actually would not mind picking this one up just because I actually love the classic design of Starscream.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred the Soundwave figure.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Soundwave was the bomb.
Soundwave is so badass. It's too bad he wasn't really put into that much effect in the movies.
I know, right? I feel like he
Bullshit.
was, like, super lame.
Yeah. Yeah, it made no sense considering he's honestly, for many people, he's their favorite Transformer, their favorite Decepticon.
Yeah.
So, but
yeah, so we got that figure. We got a new figure from Queen.
So we actually have two new figures from Queen. So we have the classic Freddie Mercury in his white tank top, blue jeans, and I want to say they're Adidas that he's wearing. And his like classic like spiked armband, just like the classic Freddie Mercury from when he performed in that concert after he told his bandmates that he did have AIDS. And yeah, I freaking love this figure. It looks fantastic, and the mustache is on point because it freaking better be with Freddie. And then the other one is kind of the same thing. Well, not the same thing. I'm sorry. So this one is to where he has a king's crown. He's wearing a king's cape, I guess you could call it that. And then he's wearing some white and yellow pants, as well as the exact same Adidas that he was wearing with the other outfit.
Yeah, that one's super bitchin'. Is that one... I'm not seeing any like special stickers on these, so I'm assuming these
like
are both
common,
commons.
which is good because I don't know. I feel maybe even as a common, that Freddie Mercury, that like classic one in his white tank top, one might be hard to find like out and about, just because that is just classic Freddie Mercury right there.
Yeah, that's way cool. Yeah, so we got those. Or a figure that we forgot to mention. We got the Flintstones.
Oh, yeah.
Holding their Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles.
Okay, which one's better?
Between Fruity Pebbles and Cocoa Pebbles?
Yeah, this is the ultimate question.
Freaking Cocoa Pebbles.
Okay, good. I was about to slap a bitch. Virtually.
Dude, what? I mean, don't get me wrong. Fruity Pebbles aren't, like, awful.
No, they're not, but I'm always going to go with Cocoa Pebbles, though, over Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, straight up.
We actually
but yeah, it's...
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say, so the first figure is Fred Flintstone holding Fruity Pebbles.
Of course.
And then Barney Rubble?
Yep, Barney Rubble.
Yes. And yeah, Barney Rubble is holding a bowl of Cocoa Pebbles.
I'm glad that my favorite character is holding the actual good cereal. So, Fred's...
Dude, what is it with you and your favorite characters? Your characters are always the sidekick.
I don't know what it is. I never pick the main character. But Fred's just being a basic bitch right here.
Like, honestly, I feel like you don't have any reason not to have been player one in your life.
Because all of my life, I have always been the sidekick to someone. I mean, come on, let's face it. Between us, who's going to say who's the main one and who's the sidekick? Come on, you're the main one, I'm the sidekick.
I disagree. I think we split that role pretty evenly.
Okay, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I thank you.
No, but I'm talking like in general. In general, like your sister. Like, did you ever play Mario with your sister, or did you play by yourself?
See, we actually never had Nintendo growing up. All we had was a PlayStation.
Okay, whenever you played a video game, did you play by yourself or did you play with your sister?
It's kind of an even split. I kind of
okay.
I don't want to bring it up.
That kind of throws a wrench in the point I was trying to make.
There was kind of like a because I don't know if she's actually listening to this, so like I don't want to talk about it, but there was just something that happened where I didn't get to see her a lot, so we weren't able to play together. So most of the time I was just playing by myself.
Okay, so if you were playing by yourself most of the time, why did you feel the need to play as the sidekick?
Because the sidekick was always the coolest.
No, there's a reason they're the sidekick.
No, F you.
Oh, shit. Like, no joke. It's like, between the Mario Brothers, who's your favorite? Luigi.
Yep.
Out of the, like, whatever Wario and Waluigi are.
Yeah.
Like, your favorite out of them is Waluigi.
Yep.
Like,
and to top it all off, it's not even like sidekick, he's more down the line. When it comes to Sonic characters, my favorite is Knuckles.
He's more of like a third, like kind of a second-hand sidekick.
Okay.
Kind of like if I'm comparing him, like if he's more like Nightwing to me.
Okay. All right.
Like if Sonic is Batman, Tails is Robin, and Knuckles is Nightwing.
Okay. I can see that. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like I'm trying to think of like other people like.
Well, okay, I got one. I like Boo Boo over Yogi Bear.
Dude, what the shit? So freaking weird.
I mean, one of those reasons is I feel Boo Boo's voice, at least to me, is a lot easier to do than Yogi's.
Okay, that's a weird reason.
I know it is, but no, I still do like
over Yogi.
I still like Boo Boo more as a character, just because Yogi never listens to him, and Boo Boo's the smarter one. I feel, but anyway.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Moving on. It's like I said, Barney Rubble. Those are the two Flintstone pops that we got.
I think we actually.
Next up, we got some.
I was gonna say we missed two Marvel pops. My bad.
Two Marvel ones?
Yeah, the Loki and the Groot.
Loki and Groot. Oh, I'm on a different album.
Oh. Well, anyway, these. So one is coming to the Funko shop, which is Loki, and then Groot. I believe this is Holiday Groot or another Holiday Groot, and it's undecided. It's Groot wrapped in Christmas lights, baby Groot. So kind of basic. But the Loki one is the one where he is holding the Tesseract from Avengers Endgame.
Hell yeah. We actually got a couple new Endgame figures.
Oh, shit. Well, what page are you on?
So we got that one, and we have Avengers Endgame cameo of Stan Lee.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, that one's awesome.
Make love, not war. Isn't that what he says?
Yep.
Okay. Rest in peace, my good sir. Rest in peace.
Hell yeah. Great freaking figure.
Yes.
For all three of those.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like they've done that Holiday group before. Oh, it's glow in the dark. Never mind.
Seriously, that's the only difference.
Yeah, that is the only difference.
They could have just made that the chase of the other version. Oh my goodness. It'd been a lazy ass chase,
Yep.
but whatever.
That Loki is super cool. I really like that this one's glow in the dark, and I hope it's like nothing else on Loki other than the Tesseract.
That would be stupid, I feel. Like, it can only be the Tesseract that glows.
Yeah. So I hope that's something that gets like hella bright too.
Yeah, just sucks that it's a Funko
I think that'd
Shop
be really cool.
exclusive.
Yeah, so probably never going to see that one.
Nope.
Next up, getting into some Pokemon figures. We have 4 new Pokemon figures coming out. The first one is Ponyta, the little fire horse or fire pony. We have a metallic-looking Pikachu. I don't know if this is actually metallic, but it's just kind of like that color. Then we have Mew. And this is a cute freaking figure.
That one is adorable.
Yeah, I feel, though, that this one's going to be a bitch to find where the tail looks good.
Fair. That is fair.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Mew kind of has a tail that's really, really long and thin, and it kind of goes like up and around his body and over by his head. So I know Funko's had issues with other small, thin pieces. So I feel like that's going to be a bitch.
So let's hope you don't want this one. Or do you?
If I found it for cheap enough.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the last figure that we got is Raichu. And this one's pretty cool.
I feel
I
bad.
never liked Raichu, though.
I mean, honestly, I don't really know Raichu or the pony one. And I don't know. Maybe...
Raichu's just the evolved form of Pikachu.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yeah.
And I probably should know that. And then what's the pony
Yeah, and
one?
then Ponyta is just... That's just what he looks like is honestly everything you need to know.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. And then the last figure that we're going to talk about is a Hot Topic exclusive Simpsons figure. And this is Ned Flanders.
Howdy doodly, neighborino.
Oh my gosh. I've gotten into watching Simpsons when I'm bored.
Hell yes.
Yeah, and Ned Flanders is one of my favorite characters.
Flanders is just so great. The shit that Homer puts him through. Like, I don't know. I'm amazed that Ned hasn't tried to kill him yet. Or, I mean, maybe he has.
Yeah, right?
I don't know. I've never seen every Simpsons episode. Maybe there is one that, or at least a Treehouse Horror episode where Ned actually does try to kill Homer. That'd be really funny.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay,
But,
is it just me,
dude,
though?
Ned is such a conundrum because he's like an annoying ass neighbor, but he's freaking yoked.
For real, though. Like, damn.
Yeah, like, Ned doesn't sin, but he freaking uses steroids like a mofo.
Seriously. Okay, but is it just me? Do you have the pop pulled up right now on your end?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, is it just me, or does his shoes look like they're flippers?
A little bit.
Okay.
I think they just look really shiny.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking too, but just the way that they angled it, yeah, it looks like he has flippers and not dress shoes, and it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I think the lighting on the shoes is just odd.
Yeah.
Them being black and everything, I think it's just odd lighting.
Yeah, no, I agree.
But really good figure.
Yes.
I really dig this one.
No, I do too.
I think one thing I probably would change about it if I could. So you see like his little smile behind the mustache?
Oh yeah.
I probably would have put like a black outline.
Yeah, because you have to
those.
look. Like, I didn't even notice it until you pointed it out.
Yeah, and it's not like a big gripe. I think it just adds to the cartoony look to Flanders.
Yeah.
Or just to the Simpsons characters in general. So that's probably something I would have added just to give more of that animated, drawn look.
I like that. That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, that's everything that we got in pop figures. Next up, we got Blu-rays. So Rose, you want to take it away with those?
Yes, so we only have one Blu-ray release coming out this week, and that is The War with Grandpa. This movie was released, what was it? I think like in August. So like right when theaters were beginning to open back up. Did not do so well in the box office, but I mean, is anyone really surprised?
Shocker.
I know, right? Because no one, even now, no one really feels still safe to go back to the movies, but we'll see if maybe Wonder Woman 1984 changes that. We'll see. But yeah, so that is the only release that is coming out this week.
Yeah.
And
speaking of Wonder Woman, I highly doubt that one's going to do well in theaters. Because they're releasing it on HBO Max.
So what I've actually heard is, you know how like Cinemark's doing like those private bookings that you can do?
Yeah.
Those are actually selling out. A lot of people are.
Are they really?
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are getting those for Wonder Woman.
Okay. Well, okay. Think about this though. It's a private booking.
Yes.
So who knows how many people are actually going to those?
Fair. That's a good point.
So, like, you got to think, if you're talking like a middle class person or maybe let's say upper class.
Okay.
They're probably only inviting family.
That's true.
So you got to think that's probably no more than 20 people in a theater that's meant for...
I know it's private, but you should not be bringing 20 people to the movie theater right now.
No, I absolutely agree, but for private booking.
Yeah, okay. But still, I mean, even for a private booking, isn't that like a little extensive right now?
I absolutely agree with that.
Yeah.
Absolutely agree with that.
Okay.
But if you do compare that to a fully packed theater of like, what, 100, 120 people?
Fair. That's a good point.
Those margins are really low. So
That's
if you're
true.
thinking like it's strictly family, folk, because this is a movie coming out on Christmas.
Yes, that's true.
So this is a movie that people are going to book for Christmas. So about 20 people. You're probably spending, I would say, maybe $175, maybe $200 to rent the space out.
That's not
maybe
bad.
I mean, this is just what I would be estimating. I don't know how much those private bookings would actually be.
See, I know with like if you were just wanting to like do like an older movie or like bring your own movie and even if you want to, it was like $100. So I don't know how it is with like new releases. It's got to be like 200.
Oh, then it's probably even lower than that. It's probably like 150 if it's a new release.
Yeah, so it's probably 100.
They're not going to make their money back.
No.
Or they're not going to make the money back if we were in a normal situation and people could go to the theaters.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, yes, the private bookings are selling out, but what does that actually mean?
But
probably nothing.
The thing is, though, Wonder Woman 84 is only going to be on HBO Max for a short amount of time. It's not going to stay there. Whereas it is actually going to stay in theaters for quite a while.
Yeah, but you got to think about it's not going to oh shit, what was I just going to say? Wonder Woman's not going to be on for very long, but you can't get HBO Max for just a day. You have to rent it for the month.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a good point.
Like at minimum, you have to rent it for the month. Unless you use your 7-day free trial, if you sign into it.
Yeah.
Or create a new account. But me and Brielle, we just canceled Netflix to get HBO Max this month.
No, that means you can't watch
No,
the
just
prom.
for like. So we're like, we still have Netflix until the end of the month, so I have time to watch it.
Okay.
It's
Well, even if you can't watch.
Hold up. Ends today? Oh, never mind.
Okay, you're borrowing my account and you're watching the prom. Dude, I'm sorry, you're watching this movie.
Yeah, we'll talk about it off the air. But yeah, so like from now on, like, because we're probably going to go through our catalog of whatever we want to watch on HBO for a while.
Okay.
And then just kind of bounce back and forth. Because they announced that they're doing that with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Obviously. So I'm going to watch that probably the day it comes out.
Better
on
not
HBO
spoil
Max.
it, bitch.
Oh, I won't. And I think they announced that they were going to do that with Suicide Squad too.
Yeah, they are. And Christopher Nolan
so,
and James Gunn are pissed, and I can't blame them. Dude, like, we are seriously experiencing the death of movie theaters right in front of us. And I feel there's nothing
it's
we
true,
can
but
do.
think about it. Like, for most people, I mean, obviously, I don't have it set up right now, but in an ideal situation for me, and this isn't even like a big, like, this isn't like something that's not set in reality. I could easily have this set up. I have a big ass TV, 55-inch for anyone that's wondering.
Hey, same.
Yeah, I have a 55-inch TV. I have the capability to connect surround sound if I so wanted.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not going to right now because living with people.
Yeah.
But I have the surround sound option. And I know where I can buy some Orville Redenbacher popcorn.
Caleb, no, don't talk about just staying
Dude,
home
I
watching
can
movies.
No, I can create the movie theater going experience in my household.
No, you can't. It can't. To me,
Yes, I can.
I'm sorry. To me, it can't be replicated. It can't. Like, there's something special
Dude,
about going to the movies.
we freaking had like a big ass discussion on our way to move me here.
That's true. We did, but I don't know. I just feel like there's like kind of talking about, like musicals, like, like most people, like most Broadway musicals, they'll adapt them to like movie versions. But at the same time, it's like, okay, yeah, like, this is awesome that I get to experience this musical because I couldn't afford to see it on Broadway, but it's still not the exact same because, I mean, come on. I mean,
I understand that. I understand that with musicals. I absolutely understand that with musicals. You lose a certain magic with musicals. But with the normal movie theater going experience, yes, okay, think about this. I want you to think about this. Imagine you had like a big ass TV.
Yeah.
Like bigger, like, or even like a projector.
Okay.
That you could make your entire wall like a freaking movie screen. If you had that, and you had some killer ass surround sound, you know what you don't have? Freaking assholes that talk through the movie. You have warm popcorn that you don't technically have to pay for, or that you don't have to pay up the ass for. You can get a drink of whatever size you want. Like, you could set this whole thing up, have a comfortable seat that you're not afraid of getting freaking lice or COVID in. Like, you could create an amazing movie theater going experience in your household. The only thing that you're lacking is the audience, or is the rest of the audience. And honestly, I hate the rest of the audience.
No, dude, I get
Whenever I'm watching a comedy, they laugh through the next joke sometimes, or they laugh through
That's true.
the next
that
lines.
is annoying. I
Or you'll
don't-
get the guy that was like behind me with Sonic that was just I wanted to freaking kill him.
Oh shit. I get where you're coming from.
to make a point.
I get where you're coming from, but I don't know. Like, the movie theater has always been my favorite way to escape. Just, it's my favorite. I don't want to say pastime, but it's just my favorite way to escape this world and just go somewhere else. I don't know. To me, there's nothing that can be replicated from the movie going theater experience, and I get what you're coming from, but I don't know. To me, it just can't be replicated inside a home. I would much rather, like, you have no idea how much I miss going to the movies. Like, it's insane that I haven't gone to the movie theater since last March. It's been almost a freaking year, and I still don't feel.
We're getting there.
And I still don't feel safe going to the movie theater because, I mean, yeah, I know like Cinemark is taking all of these precautions, with spraying down and everything, and you have to wear a mask when you're watching a movie, but I still don't feel the need to, I still don't want to take the chance to see a movie in the theater yet, but when I do get to that point, I know that it's going to feel like, this is going to sound cliche, it's going to feel like coming home again. Because it's just going to be an amazing experience, and I seriously can't wait for it.
I'm willing to bet you I could top the movie theater experience.
Okay, bet.
When I move out of this place and get into my own place, I'm going to try and find a place where I can set up like a theater.
Okay.
Like, obviously it's probably going to be a playroom as well, but I'm going to set something up that is, I can have a space away and turn it into a theater experience.
Yeah.
And you're going to come over, and I'm going to prove
I'm just going to fly out for the weekend just to see what you come up with.
Just to see a movie.
Worth it.
Yeah, no, it's not even like a full week. It could be like a day trip where you fly in, watch the movie, and I freaking send your ass back just to prove you wrong.
Yeah, totally worth $300. Totally worth that.
Dude, I'll pay for it myself.
No, you will not. You already did that, so no, that is coming out of my own pocket. But
no, but to prove that point, I absolutely would.
Oh my gosh!
And been like, boom, told you, bitch.
Now get your ass back on the plane. I could just see you drive me to the airport, and literally, instead of just letting me out of the car and grab my shit, you're just kicking my ass out. I got to tuck and roll. I could see it.
Yeah, but that's like, I can see where the directors are coming from. They expect their movie, like, directors plan for their movies to be played on the big screen.
Yeah.
And does it suck that won't happen, or that it's not going to be as big of a deal? Yes, it absolutely sucks. Because, like, like we've said, aspiring filmmakers, that blows.
Yeah.
Like, the thought of not seeing a movie on a big screen blows. But when it comes to safety versus the theatrical experience, I think I could replicate the theatrical experience and even enhance it. Like, obviously, I'd have to pay up the ass for like a surround sound that frickin' vibrates your whole frickin' body.
You're just going to take out a credit card
Maybe.
Just for this reason alone.
Yeah, so obviously it's not going to be that, but I think that, because I don't enjoy movies. Well, okay, this is going to come out probably wrong. I don't enjoy movies because I went to the theater. I enjoy the movies for the movie.
Oh yeah, no, that makes sense. I don't think that sounds wrong. I get what you're saying here.
No, I was going to say it way different. It came out a lot better than what I was thinking it was.
Okay, well that's good. Okay, that's a positive.
Yeah, I But yeah, I don't know. I think I appreciate movies differently, and yes, I want to get the best experience that I can and replicate the theatrical experience as best as I can.
Yeah.
But I think I could do that from the comfort of my own home.
I don't know. Maybe
And
it's just
honestly,
because
the biggest perk for me is not having to be with a shit ton of other people.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I want to keep physical media alive as much as I can. So like, I refuse to buy anything on digital. Yes, I have streaming services, but that's different. Or I don't know if that is actually not different. But anyway, like, I try to buy as many Blu-rays as I can because I love being able to say that I own that movie. That is my movie, and they can't take that away from me. And I feel it's kind of the same way with movie theaters now. And it's just like, I don't want to see directors and studios be like, well, I wanted my movie to be experienced on the big screen, and now it can't. And I feel bad for them. And so I want to be able to push that and be able to kind of go after what their intention was. That if they wanted this to be seen on the big screen, well, then I'm going to make sure that I see it on the big screen.
Yeah. I mean, I understand that, like, absolutely, and I do think that there is something to watching it on such a big screen, but for me, it's not. The reason that I enjoy going to theaters is because of the crisp projector.
Yeah, that's fair.
I go there for the crazy sound system.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I go to it for.
No,
I don't go
absolutely.
because of whatever reasons.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like this is better than anything I could create at home. Or I guess that is the reason. But I don't go there for like the experience of going and getting my overpriced popcorn and my overpriced drink.
Well,
and
see, that's why
praying
I never get
that I don't get
concessions
sick
when I go.
Yeah, and then like going and sitting next to and just praying that I don't get sat next to some asshole. But
I guess that's kind of the perk right now with the social distancing. That like there literally won't be someone within like a 5-seat radius of you.
yeah, like that's a big perk, but I can get that at home too.
That's true, and yeah.
And I think with the proper cheap setup, I could recreate the theatrical experience and enhance it.
Okay, bet.
That's what I'm basically getting at.
Okay.
So once I move out and get this dream situation set up, like, yeah, you're flying out for the weekend and we're going to just binge movies.
Deal. We'll binge the whole MCU, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes. I'll freaking take a week off of work to do that.
Dude, I would too. It'd be worth it. Be like the best vacation ever.
Yeah. So, yes, I do think that it is sad that the movie theater experience is dying, but I think this is going to just be the birth of a different era for movies, where instead of it being what we've known it to be today, it's going to evolve into something a little bit more like an attraction, I feel.
Okay.
Where they're going to have to offer more premium things.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there's some theaters that it's like dine-in theater, where you get sat at a table, and you can order food, you can order drinks, and
I know some
all this other
like
stuff.
that. None out here.
So I think it's going to end up being more like that.
Okay. All right.
I think that's what it's going to evolve into.
Yeah.
It's going to get maybe more expensive.
Yeah, probably. It'd be like $20 a ticket.
So it's more like, oh, you're instead of paying for a ticket and a seat, you're paying for a ticket and a table.
Yeah, it's kind of like the dinner and a show kind of situation.
Yeah, and then I think you're just going to get more of those premium options for seating. It's not going to be what it is now. And I think any theater that thinks or is going to hold on to the idea that that's what it is, they're going to die out. It's going to be the ma and pa shops that are going to stay open, that evolve to the needs of the customer or the desires of the customer or the client base.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, we could probably do a whole freaking episode on that alone.
We seriously could. But enough depressing talk.
But we are not about that. So, with that, I don't think there's anything else left in Adventures in Hunting, so we can move on to our main event of the evening.
Yeah.
Time for the main event.
It's main event time.
Let's play a game.
Alrighty, before we get into the main event of the evening, we got some responses to our question of the week this week. So we posted the question, like the Wet Bandits, what would be your bandit calling card and name? And who's part of your crew? And we got a couple different responses. So the first one is over on Instagram. We got a response from @BruckerNorse. Brucker, as you guys may or may not know, is one of the hosts of Film on the Rocks. And we were actually on their I don't want to say their latest episode. We were on their Pirates of the Caribbean episode.
Two really fun guys that have a fun-ass podcast.
Hell yeah. That episode was an absolute blast.
So, if you guys haven't checked out Film on the Rocks, go check them out. They're amazing.
Do it, and you're cool. Anyway, getting back to it. So he responded and said, the Slippery Bandits. We put butter on everything.
I love it. I have to know, though, like, what brand of butter? Like, are you specific, or you're just like, you know what, I don't really care? Like, we talking country crock, can't believe it's not butter. I need some answers, Brucker. Come on, buddy.
Dude, I think there's something to this that's freaking evil.
Why do you say that?
Like, okay, with the Wet Bandits, they turn on the sinks and they leave the water running, and so your house kind of floods.
Yep.
Like, yeah, that's messed up. But you're probably going to get insurance money for that.
True.
You know what you're not going to get insurance money for? Someone putting butter on all of your shit. And you know that you're going to clean the house as best as you can, but you're still going to find butter some places.
Hey, dude, Allstate covers.
Like, you're going to go, like, try and pick up the phone. You're going to go... What?
Doesn't Allstate cover, like, everything?
They're not going to cover butter.
You never know. Jake will hook it up.
Jake from State Farm. Dude, but could you imagine cleaning up everything? Thinking you're, like, done. You get, like, a deep cleanup of your house. And then you go and, like your foot slides too far under your cabinets, and you just get butter on your feet. Or you, like, go and grab the remote, and your remote is covered in butter. Like, that's some freaking conniving shit, and I want Brucker to get, like, a psych profile. Because that is messed up.
Genius, Brucker. Genius.
Genius, but freaking evil. And I usually respond to everyone, or I try to respond to those, like, that I can, whenever they answer. I couldn't answer him, and that's exactly why I just started thinking about that, because I'm like, oh, what's a good response? And then I've just started thinking about having butter put on everything that I own, and it filled me with some rage. I'm like, I hate touching something and it's like slippery as it is. If it was covered with butter, I would go insane. I would absolutely go insane. I would move.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, so thanks for that. Moving on, moving over to Twitter, we got a response from the Royal Mumble podcast at Mumble Royal. And they said, easy. At K_Vanda Bogart, or Vandy B, and at Plunge Podcast, and I would be the Sneaky Roofie Boys.
We're bringing roofies into this. Okay. Wow. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
yeah, why not? I mean, I don't know what else to say to that. I like it, but
yeah,
all
it's
right.
a creative name.
Yeah, it is. I like it.
Yeah, I really like the Sneaky Roofie Boys. But he didn't spell roofie like the drug. He spelled it like ROOFY.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, so who knows if that's actually what they mean.
Yeah, you got me.
So I doubt it's like roofies, but I'm also not 100% sure it's not. So, anyway, thank you both for answering our question of the week. We really appreciate hearing from you guys.
Yes,
and
thank you.
Enjoy hearing your answers, even the ones that aggravate the ever-living shit out of us. Brucker.
Okay, Caleb, I just thought of one that would probably irritate you even more. I'm going to call my group the Jelly Bandits. We're going to put petroleum jelly on everything.
That's a good way to get convicted of murder. Because someone's just going to walk into their house, slip, and snap their neck.
Exactly.
It's like you can't call the cops on someone who's dead.
No.
Or you can't call the cop. Nope. I messed that up.
Yeah, you butchered
You can't
that.
call the cops if you're dead.
There we go. But is that worse than butter?
Up, man.
Is that worse than butter?
I'm going to say no.
Really? Wow, okay.
Yeah, I mean, at least, like, that is slippery.
Okay.
And so, like, you would grab a phone, and, like, if you put, like, the jelly on your phone, you'd grab the phone, but it would just, like, slip out of your hands.
Yeah.
Like, yes. Is that annoying? Absolutely. But there's just something about butter that it's not, like, too slippery. Like, you'd still be able to grab your phone and be able to have, like, a grip on it.
Fair.
It just leaves, like, this nasty, greasy, like, residue on your hands, and it's just...
Bleh.
Yeah, I would explode.
Oh my gosh.
I would absolutely explode. And could you imagine if it started getting hot? Then something
true.
would start smelling like popcorn.
And that's a bad thing?
Yes, if it's, like, all the time.
Bullshit. I love that.
Yeah, I've been thinking about Brucker's response for way longer than I needed to.
Goodness. Dude, I just read it once and I was like, okay, you know what? I like that. Yeah. Caleb, I think you pondered this way too much.
I ponder everyone's answer.
That's true, you do.
Yeah. So like I said, thank you everyone for answering our question of the week. We really enjoy hearing from you guys. We enjoy the discussions that we have. All right, so getting into this week's breakdown of Home Alone, sticking with our Christmassy theme. If you are new to our breakdown system, we have split movies into 8 different categories that we individually grade to come to a final All Bros score or letter grade. The 8 categories that we grade are story, writing, acting, character development, effects, music, costumes, and then at the end we give it our own personal grade. And that gives us all of the information that we need to come to a letter grade. So, with that, if you have not seen Home Alone, this movie came out in 1990?
Let me see really quick. Yeah, 1990.
Hell yeah. So yeah, this movie came out in 1990. If you have not seen it, that's on you.
How have you not seen it in the 30 years that it's been out?
Yeah, no shit.
Like, this is a holiday classic, guys. Come on.
Yeah, so if we spoil it for you, it's more on you than us.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, Rose is going to read us the full synopsis for the movie, spoiling the entire thing. So, you've had your warning. And, yeah, so with that, it is Reading with Rose time.
Yes. Spoiler alert, he's left home alone. If the title didn't give it away. All right. So the McAllister family is preparing to spend Christmas in Paris, France, gathering at Peter and Kate's home in a Chicago suburb on the night before their departure. Peter and Kate's youngest son, Kevin, is the subject of ridicule by his older siblings, Buzz, Jeff, Megan, and Lenny. Kevin eventually ruins dinner by fighting with Buzz and is forced to sleep in the attic as punishment. But before he goes, he tells Kate he wishes he had no family. During the night, the power is knocked out in the neighborhood, which results in all of the alarm clocks resetting. Realizing they overslept, the McAllisters rush out the door to get to the airport. In the confusion, Kevin is left behind and he wakes to find the house empty, thinking that his wish has come true. Kevin relishes his new found freedom. However, things turn when Kevin has an encounter with Old Man Marley, a neighborhood man who is rumored to be a serial killer, which scares him. Meanwhile, a pair of burglars named Harry and Marv, nicknamed the Wet Bandits, have been casing the neighborhood looking for potential targets, with Harry having particular designs on the McAllister home. The duo has a specific calling card. Marv has a tendency to clog sinks and turn on the faucets before he leaves, which causes the house to be flooded out. While in flight, Kate realizes that Kevin was left behind, and once the plane lands in Paris, she immediately begins to try and get back to Chicago, but discovers that the earliest flight home they can get is 2 days away. She eventually gets on a flight back to the United States while the family goes to Peter's brother Rob's apartment in Paris, but gets stranded in Scranton, Pennsylvania on Christmas Eve. A fellow stranded traveler, polka band leader Gus Polinsky, is on his way to Milwaukee with his band and asks Kate if she would like a ride home with them in a rental truck since they are passing through Chicago anyway. Kate gratefully accepts. On Christmas Eve, Kevin makes a visit to the local Santa Claus portrayer, and wishes for his family to come home. He later discovers Harry and Marv plotting to rob his home later that night and eventually ends up in the local church where he again meets Old Man Marley. Marley is very cordial to him and tells Kevin none of the rumors about him are true. He points out to Kevin that his granddaughter is singing in the choir, telling him that this is one of the only times he gets to see her because of an estrangement between his son and himself. Kevin suggests he try to contact him, and Marley agrees. Kevin returns home and rigs the house with booby traps to take on the burglars. Harry and Marv break in, spring the traps, and suffer various injuries. While the duo pursues Kevin around the house, he calls the police and flees, then lures Harry and Marv into a neighboring home which they previously broke into, and which Marv also left the water running at. They ambush him and prepare to get their revenge, but Marley intervenes and knocks them unconscious with his snow shovel. The police arrive and arrest the Wet Bandits, telling them that Marv's trademark move got them busted for multiple robberies. On Christmas Day, Kevin wakes up to find out his wish appears to not have come true. However, Kate pulls up in the rental truck moments later and has an emotional oh my gosh.
Reconciliation.
Yes, thank you. With Kevin. To their surprise...
Reading with Rose.
Shut up.
I need a theme song for you, dude.
Yeah, we do. I still got to get the design together for this. I need shirts. To their surprise, the rest of the family arrives shortly thereafter, having returned on the aforementioned flight from earlier. As everybody gets settled back in, Kevin looks out the window to see that Old Man Marley and his son have indeed patched things up for the holidays, and the two wave to each other.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So, I always seem to forget how fun this movie is.
Oh, this movie is just a blast from start to finish. I love this movie.
Absolutely. It is so good. I mean, that being said, the story is not an A+ story at all.
No, it's not.
This is a movie that's very average in pretty much everything, but it works out in its favor.
Yes.
Like, nothing in this movie felt like super aged, other than like maybe the alarm clocks and the phone.
Yeah.
But those are such a small and insignificant part in this movie.
No.
I mean, yeah, and there was a lot of shit in this movie that pissed me off.
Like what?
Like when Kevin's dad's brother, or so when Kevin's uncle.
Oh, so Uncle Frank?
When he spills like everything and like madness kind of happens.
Yeah.
It's not his fault. Kevin should definitely have gotten in trouble for the milk.
Yeah.
Not everyone's reaction that caused all the freaking chaos. And then when Frank calls or goes to, or basically makes a big old scene, he's like, "Look what you did, you little jerk." I would have knocked the ever-living shit out of my brother.
Oh,
I'm like, I will freaking destroy you if you call my kid a jerk.
Dude,
you're a full-grown adult.
I seriously forgot how much of a cheapskate he is in this movie. Like, I totally forgot about the scene on the plane when he notices the silverware and he's just like, stuff it in your purse, as the flight attendant is walking up to talk to them.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh my goodness. Seriously, Uncle Frank?
Yeah, he's a friggin' cheap ass.
Yeah. Oh. And also on the plane when they're first getting on, he's just like, oh, champagne. It's free, right?
Or when he's the one that grabs the pizzas, and the pizza guy's like, "That's $122.50," and he's just like, "It's my brother's house. He'll pay for it."
Yeah, it's like it's the least you could do, buddy.
Prick.
Seriously. Anyway.
Yeah, Uncle Frank pisses me off.
Also, this is one of my favorite parts in the movie is when Kevin goes to the grocery store and the lady ringing him out, just keeps asking him the questions. And final question is, where do you live? I can't tell you that. Why? Because you're a stranger. Just the way that Kevin says that, I just love it. Every single time I watch it.
Yeah, dude, like, what the hell was up with that lady freaking hounding an 8-year-old?
Also,
or how old was he? Was he 8 or 9?
Yeah, he was 8. And also, I want your opinion. Okay, so when he first goes to, I forget what store he goes to, but he goes to buy that toothbrush. And, he asks, if this is approved from the National Dental Association or whatever. And, he gets scared because of, what's his name? Marley.
Old Man Marley.
Yeah, Old Man Marley. And he runs out. And the worker is just he points to the coffee. He's like, shoplifter. If you were a cop, would you run after an 8-year-old that had stolen a toothbrush? Is it worth that? Especially in the snow, running across an ice rink. Is it worth the chase?
Once he got to, I would have stopped at the ice rink.
Okay.
But
it's like, no, I'm not.
You gotta think about this. Think about this. Think about this from the cop's perspective. He doesn't know what the kid stole.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
He just knows that the kid's a shoplifter.
That's a good point. I just can imagine if
he
actually caught
let's
him.
talk about this for a second. I would have put forth a little bit more effort if I were that worker.
Seriously, he could have caught up to him.
Yeah. He was like a kid. He looked like he was 16, 17 years old. He could have caught up to him.
Easily.
But no, he ran out the door and then yelled at a cop.
Yeah.
You couldn't keep chasing him. I would have been, running, and then when the cop looked, I'd be like, freaking shoplifter.
Yeah.
And then try and catch him myself.
I don't know. Maybe it was against the company guidelines. I don't know.
Yeah, so
Because, I mean, that is
that
how
whole
some
scene
companies
kinda, like,
are. Just saying.
that's fair. But still, a freaking toothbrush. I mean, come on. Yeah, I really liked everything about this movie. Like, it does feel though like everything before Harry and Marv get to the before they get into the house or start to try and break in. Everything before that, it feels like very slow.
That's fair.
And then when everyone or when all the craziness starts happening and they're like dealing with the break-in stuff and the freaking booby traps, that's when I feel the movie picks up the pace a lot better.
I don't know what it was, but maybe it's just because I haven't seen this movie in a couple of years. Like, I don't usually watch this movie every Christmas, but it felt like the Wet Bandits going through all the traps went by a lot faster than I remember it going.
Yeah, same here.
So,
And this is something that we'll get to in effects, but I'll just touch upon it. I feel like in the past, it feels like the hits landed a bit harder.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can point out in this movie that you're just like, how the hell did you not notice that? Like with Harry, how did he not notice that the doorknob was glowing red? Shouldn't that be a sign that maybe I shouldn't touch that?
Yeah, I feel like you could feel the heat radiating from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you seen the episode of Family Guy where they make fun of this movie?
No.
So they're sitting down watching TV and they're like, now back to Home Alone with competent robbers. And he like, so it's these two guys and like they're walking in and there's like all the cars in front of the staircase.
Yeah.
And he like steps on one and he's like, "Ooh, almost slipped there." And he's just like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What's up with all these cars that are here to make us look like or that are trying to attempt to make us fall?" And then you see like that little kid up at the top and he's just like, "You hungry for more?"
Oh my goodness.
Like this random ass kid, and then one of the robbers pulls out a gun and shoots the kid. And he's just
shit.
like, can't leave witnesses.
Damn.
Like, I'm totally butchering that whole bit, but yeah, like I'll send you a link when we're done. It's freaking hilarious.
So is that the exact line they said, or did he say it how he does in the movie? Or do you guys give up, or are you thirsty for more?
I think he just says like, "Are you thirsty for more?" Or
Okay.
like, "You guys had enough yet?" Or something along those lines.
Okay.
And then they just pull out a gun, shoot him, and they're like, "This kid could have ratted us out."
Damn. They did like an Adult Swim thing where it was a spoof on Halloween and Home Alone, the 2018 Halloween, and they did it to where Michael Myers goes to Kevin's house instead of Laurie's, and so Kevin's like putting him through all these booby traps, and then eventually Michael Myers kills him, and it's freaking hilarious.
Oh, that'd be great.
I recommend it. I'll have to send you the link. It's freaking funny.
Yeah. But overall, I think the story flowed pretty well. It got a little slow in the middle.
That's fair.
So I'm at a pretty average score. I'm probably sitting 80, 81.
I think solid 80 is a great score for the story.
Yeah, I mean, it works really well. Like we said, it's not an A+ movie by any means of the word, or by any meaning, but it's good. It's a good,
really
fun
is.
Christmas movie.
Yeah.
And if you're going in for a good time and kind of want to just shut your brain off a little bit, this is definitely the Christmas movie to do it with.
This, and I'm going to say it, but I enjoy the second one just as much as the first one.
I do too.
I
That's
think
not
Home
a
Alone
hard thing
yeah,
to.
I think Home Alone 2: Lost in New York is a great sequel.
Yeah, and we should do that one next year.
Dude, I'm down. Absolutely, let's do it.
Hell yeah. All right, so 84 story. Next up, let's talk about the writing.
Writing's pretty good. I mean, it's amazing how much of dicks Kevin's siblings are to him. Just the fact that they're just like, Kevin, you're such a disease, or Kevin, you're what
I'm
the
like,
French
what does that
call
even mean?
yeah, or the one sister that's like, Kevin, you're what the French call what is it, les incompetents or some shit like that.
Yeah, basically calling him incompetent.
Yeah. And then and then freaking Buzz. Oh my gosh, Buzz is such an ass to him.
Yeah. Dude, it's so weird. Like you're definitely getting like cheesy 80s writing, I feel.
You are, and who's this? I think John Hughes directed this movie. Right?
Yeah, it's a John Hughes movie.
Yeah, and yeah, like you said, you're definitely getting 90s style writing, but I don't know. I'm nostalgic
I'm
for
saying
that kind of shit.
like
So.
late 80s.
Okay, yeah.
That's
late
like
80s.
what it feels like.
It
Because
does.
when I first was thinking about this movie, I'm like, this feels like an 80s movie. And then I realized, oh, it's just because John Hughes directed it.
Yeah.
And yeah, but the writing is very cheesy.
It is.
At times. And a little bit over the top. There is definitely some like amazing dialogue. But I think there's just too much.
Sometimes the mom's dialogue was a little too over the top? I can understand where she was coming from, but like especially like some scenes at the airport, I'm just like, okay, lady, let's take it down a notch here.
Just a bit, I would say, yeah. It's I would definitely put the writing below the story.
Yeah,
because I think the writing suffered.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that.
I mean, but overall, it was fairly good.
It really was.
Like a lot of Kevin's dialogue was amazing. Like what you were saying with the cashier and saying like you're a stranger. But like that stuff I freaking loved. Like his little retorts when he had to start acting like a grown up. Like that was fantastic.
Dude, I love the parts when he would be like, say when he's watching the movie, he's just like, "Hey guys, I'm eating rubbish, or no, I'm eating junk and watching rubbish. You better come down and stop me." Shit like that, I loved.
Yeah, that stuff was perfect. Yeah. It's like I said, it's everyone else's dialogue around them that sucked.
I feel Kevin and not Kevin, sorry, Harry and Marv's dialogue was really good.
Yeah, theirs was super solid. Like everything that they said, I don't think they had any wasted lines.
No, they did.
And
I love when Marv first gets back into the van, and Harry's just like, "What are you smiling at?" "No, what are you smiling at?" "You did it, didn't you?" "Seriously, why you gotta flood every single house?" "It's our staple, Harry. We're the wet bandits."
Yeah, I really dug that. Like all of everything that they did, like every bit, all the lines that they had were perfectly well crafted.
Yeah, they were.
And same with most of Kevin's.
Yeah.
I'd say when he's with the family, that's like, but when he's by himself, that's when it's like, damn near flawless.
If he wasn't with, still like the best parts of the movie is when Kevin's just like, "Can I sleep in your room, Buzz? You know, I don't want to sleep with," I forget the kid's name, but he'll wet the bed. And he's just like,
Fuller.
Yeah, Fuller. And he's just like, "I wouldn't let you sleep in my room if you were growing on my ass." I don't care what anyone says. That line will always be freaking hilarious to me.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm lower than story, but I'm still... Actually, no. Where are you sitting at?
I'm at like a solid 75.
Yeah, I'm at like a 73. So I'll meet you in the middle, 74.
Yeah, no, sounds good to me.
All right, next up we got acting. So I think we definitely need to do Macaulay Culkin,
Oh yeah. And then
Daniel Stern,
and
and Joe Pesci.
Yes. Okay. All right. Do we want to start with Joe Pesci
so-
or Daniel Stern?
Let's start with Daniel Stern.
Okay.
I think Joe Pesci had a little bit more
He did.
dialogue and more to do.
Yeah. I loved Daniel Stern in this film. I feel I don't know. I haven't seen Daniel Stern in a lot because honestly, the only things I remember seeing him in are this and Home Alone 2 and A Christmas Story 2, and a lot of people don't like to talk about that movie. So, but no, I love his performance as Marv. He's freaking hilarious. Just his the way he overreacts is amazing. Like when he steps on that nail, when Kevin puts the tarantula on his face. Just
That is my favorite scene.
dude, excellent choice. That is such a fantastic scene.
Yeah, whenever during the struggle with the freaking tarantula, that is by far my favorite scene. And he has both of my favorite scenes in both movies.
Okay, what's your favorite scene in Home Alone 2?
So in the first one, tarantula. In the second one, it's when the pigeons are like pecking at his nuts.
Yeah.
Like his scream in that is flawless.
What was
And
it?
then my runner-up scene with him is when he gets electrocuted in the second one.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. I think this is in the second
And he
one.
turns into the skeleton, and it's like...
I think this is the second one too, but it's when he's just like, Harry, I've reached the top. And
Yeah, that's the second one.
okay, I love that scene so much. Or okay, sorry, last thing about talking about the second one, but when Kevin's like throwing those bricks down and he just keeps getting hit and he's just like Harry's just like, come on Marv, get up. He's like, Harry I die every time. Okay, enough about Home Alone 2. That's for next year. Home Alone.
Yeah, we'll talk. Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about that one next year.
No, his performance is amazing in this movie. None of his screen time is wasted. He's hilarious. And I feel him and Joe Pesci really complement each other. I feel you wouldn't think that these two would work well off of each other, but they do. They really do.
Yeah, it's so good. And I think honestly, him and Joe Pesci are on the same level for me.
I can absolutely agree. Joe Pesci's maybe like a little, like a point or two higher, but not by much.
I can give you that. So I say whatever we give Daniel Stern, we give Joe Pesci just like a 1-up.
Okay.
So yeah, so I mean, if we're going to be talking about both of them, I think Joe Pesci did a really good job at not playing it over the top. I think he did a really good job at grounding.
He did.
Daniel Stern.
Yes.
I think Daniel Stern was just like really high in his level and cheesiness, and Joe Pesci was really low.
Yeah.
And so I think they evened themselves out really well, and it felt realistic. Their portrayal.
Would you have believed the whole cop situation, that cops were coming around just making sure that everyone was keeping up to date on their locks, making sure that they were taking the right precautions and shit like that? Would you have believed that?
I would have fallen for it.
Yeah, I would have too.
Yeah, I would have hella fallen for that. I probably wouldn't have gone into as much detail and being like, oh, we did this, this, and this. This is our security system, blah, 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 blah. I probably wouldn't have gone that far in explaining it. I would have just been
plot
like, yeah, our
device.
security system's fine.
Yeah.
Like, and if the cop pushed it too hard, I'd be like, why?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, do you have a search warrant? Like, I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's just like, do you really need to know that?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, my house is gonna be safe. I think that's really all you need to know, officer.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, I think Joe Pesci pulled that off so well.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that for the first time, and it took me a second to realize that those were the same people.
Same, dude. I was the exact same.
Yeah, and the first time I watched this, I was about 7 or 8.
Okay.
So, yeah, like, I watched it, I'm just like, I remember thinking, like, that kind of looks like the cop. And then when he smiles and, like,
Yeah,
the
the same
thing, I'm
too.
like, oh, it is the cop!
I love the banter that he has with a couple of kids. He's just like, "Are your parents are home? Do they live there here? No, of course not. No parents. Just kids. Makes sense to me."
But so good, so freaking good.
Love him.
Yeah. So, what are you thinking with these two?
For Daniel Stern, I would give probably like an 88. So Joe Pesci an 89.
I can absolutely agree with that. He did. They were both freaking amazing.
Gosh.
Just shy of perfection.
Yeah.
I feel.
Absolutely.
So I think that's definitely a fair score for them. Next up with Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McAllister.
He was fantastic. I feel it's hard for being a child actor to pull off a role like this. Because I feel it's asking a lot of a kid, and I think Macaulay Culkin nailed it. I love him in this movie. I have very little problems with his performance. For how young he was, he did an amazing job.
I think he did too. I think he has a little bit of that child actor syndrome, though, where it comes off a little dry.
That's fair.
But I mean, child actor, like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna dock him too much, but honestly, you might be higher than me. I'm going to assume.
Okay,
So I'm putting him on the same level as Joe Pesci at 89.
no.
Just because I'm trying to give him some bonus points because this is one of his earliest roles.
Yeah.
I don't think this is his first role, though.
I don't think it is either. I mean, this is definitely his most
Yeah,
well-known role.
Yeah, definitely. And I think he was younger in that Uncle Buck movie.
I think he was too.
So, yeah, I doubt this is his first role.
Yeah. But no, I can definitely agree with an
maybe-
89. Are you boosting?
Yeah, I'll stick with an 89.
Okay.
I was going to go a little bit lower just because not his first role,
Yeah.
but still, with how young he is.
No, but I feel like when it comes to like the emotional parts, he nails everything. I feel even like, and this is kind of like more effects wise, but I feel they asked a lot of him with like setting all those traps up and shit, and like he pulls it off. Macaulay did a fantastic job in this film.
Yeah. So, averaging that out, that comes to an 88.6%.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. Next up, we got character development. So I think we can definitely do this off of Kevin.
Yes. Oliver, I feel he had a pretty good character development. You know, he goes from a kid that basically doesn't want a family at all. He feels he's the odd one out. Honestly, he feels nobody cares about him. He's the one that's always getting antagonized. He's the odd one out, to a kid that loses his family and is like, hell yeah, I'm going to party this shit up. I'm going to have a blast. And then he finally realizes, well, actually, maybe, I actually do miss my family. Maybe not so much Uncle Frank, but, but no, it is cool seeing his character arc, and like when he is finally reunited with his family, it does feel genuine that like he actually did miss them, he loves them, and he's grateful that he does have them in his life.
I agree. This is definitely one of the better arcs that we've had.
Yes.
I think he definitely goes from a kid that wants to be independent or thinks he can be independent and can handle it, and kind of having to prove it.
Yeah.
And then he kind of realizes how hard it is and how scary the real world can be. And kind of has a moment of like things aren't necessarily how they appear. Like with his neighbor, Old Man Marley, like thinking that he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
And taking that time to get to know who he is as a person, and just kind of having that little bit of an arc.
That whole
Being like,
scene
you
in
can't
the
really-
church is just such a sweet moment. I love that scene.
It is. It is a really like heartfelt scene, and I think that's the most Christmassy scene.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like it gives you those Christmas feels.
Yeah. Exactly.
And honestly, like I think the whole, like if you were to cut out the robber, like the wet bandits altogether from this movie, you would have a pretty decent and emotional movie.
That's true, you would. Yeah, you really
And like because like if you think about it, if you cut that out, he still has to go through and kind of become the man of the house or handle his shit.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he freaking goofs off and does all this stuff, but he's working towards an appreciation for his family. And then if you cut out the wet bandits, then he kind of has a moment of growth where he's like, okay, things aren't necessarily all that they seem to be with Old Man Marley. You take the time to know him, and he's something completely different than what I think he is. And maybe that's how it is with my family, kind of has that realization, and then is reunited with his family. And then it kind of has a better love for them, or stronger love for them. And I think the wet bandit stuff is just cherry on top.
Yeah. Oh, I absolutely agree.
So I actually really dug the character development from him. I think it did a really good job at appreciating, and honestly, I think the character development next year is going to suffer. Because it's basically the same freaking story.
Probably.
So,
well, okay, yeah. I mean, at least this time he doesn't necessarily wish that his family was gone. It just, he actually does go with his family. It just, same shit happens.
yeah. So, with character development, just with how solid the story was, I'm in the high 80s. Not quite sure where I'm at, but what are you thinking?
I think maybe like 87, 88.
I can give you an 87.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a fairly good arc.
It was.
All right, next up we got effects. So this is practical effects, stunt work. Obviously, there wasn't much computer animated anything
No.
back in the 90s.
And I feel the biggest thing you really want to point out with this effects wise is the whole traps situation with Harry and Marv, and I feel even today that definitely holds up very well, including the whole paint can scenario. That scene is still really funny, even though Better Watch Out turned it into a very dark scenario.
Yeah, no shit.
But yeah, just the whole like Harry like burning his hand on the doorknob, the whole nail through the foot for Harry. Caleb's favorite, the this is not really stunt work, but the tarantula on the face. I feel
I think the stunt work with that is when which one's Daniel Stern? Is he Harry? No, not Harry. He's
Marv. Yeah.
Or no, he's Harry.
No, he's Marv. I promise you.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
I swear he is.
Yeah. I kind of get them confused sometimes.
No, dude, you're good, man. You're good.
No, but I think the scene that I'm thinking of, where it's more stunt work, is when Marv hits Harry with the crowbar.
Oh yeah.
I think I remember that stuff feeling like it landed a lot harder, but you could kind of feel that, or you could kind of see that he was holding back.
It's true.
I think they could have gotten away with using like a soft rubber crowbar.
Yeah, I'm sure
if they didn't already use that.
Yeah.
I think they could have gotten away with using one of those and having Daniel Stern just go crazy.
That would have been awesome.
I think it would have made it feel like it had more weight behind the hits.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's not like a huge gripe. It's more of a minor one.
I getcha.
They sometimes, or one scene that stands out to me is the zip line when they crawl across on the rope, and Kevin cuts the rope and they swing. You can tell that that's stuntmen.
Oh, you can't?
At least for a couple.
You can?
Like a couple quick shots.
I don't know how
You
I
can
didn't pick
definitely
up on
tell
that.
that it's stunt work. Or stuntmen. Not stunt work. Everything in this freaking scene was stunt work. So, I mean, that doesn't take it down a whole bunch for me. I still think that everything else was perfect. I thought the slipping looked really good.
Yeah, that did.
The paint can thing looked really good. All of the freaking stuff with the feet and burning looked amazing. I still freaking cringe when I see Marv step on the nail.
Yeah. Ugh.
Like, dude, I know like the scene's coming every time, and I'm just like, oh. And then when it comes, I'm just like, no. So I think with everything that I'm gonna dock with the effects, I'm gonna put them at like 87.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we got music.
I freaking love the music in this movie. Like, I feel whenever someone thinks of the Run Run Rudolph song, the airport scene, I don't know about anybody else, but that is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of that song.
Same here. It's hard to argue with how amazing this soundtrack was.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're throwing in Christmas songs.
Yeah, but
all of the Christmas songs freaking work.
Yeah, they really do. So good.
And who can freaking not think of this movie with that score?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, oh, so good. Honestly, I think my favorite song, the one that stands out the most to me, is right before he starts to set up the traps at his house.
Okay.
When it's like that rock and roll, or when it switches from the Christmassy Carol of the Bells
Yeah.
to like full rock and roll,
Yes. Oh, that was so
or
good.
like epic like orchestra.
Yeah. I mean, you can't forget the classic Home Alone theme at the beginning.
Yeah. So this music was really good. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking a solid 8.
An 8?
Yeah.
Damn, I was sitting at a 9.
I can give you a 9.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can absolutely give you a 9.
Yeah, I'll give it a 9. But it's so good. It's so good. And I think had the score not been as memorable as it was, I probably would have leaned more towards an 8.
That's fair.
I think because we just do solid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
We don't do 9.5 or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I was seriously at an 8.5. I was at an 8.53. Barely leaning towards a 9.
Oh shit, I love
But
it.
I think it earned a 9. All right, and next up we got costumes.
I mean, it's nothing special. It's classic winter clothes in the 90s. But I feel the Wet Bandits, Harry and Marv looked great in their bandit attire. I don't know if you want to call it that.
Yeah, lots of I don't even know what kind of fabric that was. I want to say wool, but I know that's not right.
No, I don't think it is. I don't know, actually.
Yeah, it's just all of the. I think the costumes are honestly what aged this movie the most.
True that.
But I mean, that being said, it doesn't age it that badly.
No.
It just noticeable is how I would say it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So, other than that, it's just nothing stood out a whole ton.
No.
So I'm 6 or 7.
I can go either way, so whichever you go with, I will fully support.
I'm gonna say 6.
Okay.
Well. Okay. No, I talked myself up, and the reason I talked myself up is Kevin's winter gear, and it's kind of his beanie. His beanie is very memorable.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, that thing's
In this,
become a staple.
it's a very standout. Yeah, very standout.
Okay.
So I'll give some bonus points for that because everyone else kind of,
Yeah. Okay. So 7.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
All right, and then lastly, our own personal grade.
All right. Who's going first?
I'll let you go first.
All right. Okay. So, overall, watching this movie again, fell in love with it all over again. This is one of my favorite Christmas movies. The cast is amazing. The story is kind of basic, but it works in its favor in a way, just because, like I said again, the cast, the music, the writing is just it's so good. I can't say enough good things about this movie. So I am sitting at a solid 85.
That's not bad. I'm a little bit lower.
Okay.
Than you. I'm probably sitting in I'm probably sitting at a solid 80.
Okay. Not bad.
It is, like I said, it is lower, but it's a good movie. It's a
It really
really,
is.
really fun movie. It's very enjoyable to watch. It's just I caught myself a few times before the break-in happened,
Yeah.
like going and like messing with my phone
Oh,
and kind of
really?
having to be like, oh shit, like I need to put it down and pay attention. But yeah, once the break-ins happened and all that was going on, I was just like, freaking game on, like let's like I put my phone down and watched it very intently. It's
That's
just
good.
everything before it was just kind of like it lulled a little
No,
bit.
I get you.
Like I probably honestly could have skipped to that part in the movie
Yeah.
and been fine.
Okay. That's fair.
But
get what
I
you're
mean,
coming
that's
from.
not how we freaking do this. We watch
No.
the entire movie.
Exactly.
So that's why it's sitting at an 80 for me.
Okay.
I
Still
could
very good.
probably, yeah, like, and it's just because Christmas is
Yeah.
like, if it were any other month that we were doing this, I'd probably be like 78, 79,
Yeah.
which doesn't seem like a huge difference to, or I don't think would sound like a huge difference to most people, but it's a big enough one for me.
Yeah.
So, averaging out our personal grades, that brings us to a personal grade score of 82.5.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. And with that being put in, that brings us to our final score for Home Alone. And the final letter grade for this movie is a B.
Not bad. Solid B. I like it.
Yeah, it's actually on the softer side for
really?
our B. Yeah, so the cutoff for a B is 83%.
Okay.
This is 83.6%.
Oh, okay.
So it's 0.6% away from being a B minus.
Okay.
And I think this is a pretty good score for this movie.
Yeah, I agree. That's actually really good.
Yeah. So everything. So I'm going to compare this to other movies that we've broken down or graded. And so every movie that I'm about to list is all B movies. Like not B plus, not B minus, just flat B. So first one we got is, so this movie is 2 points below The Oath.
Okay.
We don't have a whole lot of freaking B movies. It is 1 point below Solo.
Okay.
Also 1 point below Christopher Robin. It is 0.6% higher than Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle.
Okay, that's not bad. Okay.
And Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle is seriously the closest to a B minus.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
shit.
like I said, the cutoff for a B minus is 83%.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome to the Jungle is 83.06%.
Damn.
Yeah. All right, let's see. So Home Alone is 0.3% lower than Thor Ragnarok.
Okay.
It is 0.2% lower than Sonic the Hedgehog.
All right. Not bad.
2% lower than Onward.
Blasphemy. Just kidding.
What?
I'm kidding.
Onward was a good movie.
I know, I'm kidding. I loved Onward. I'm kidding.
Yeah, it is actually right in line with Lady and the Tramp 2019.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, 1% lower than Age of Ultron.
Okay.
2% lower than The Lion King. Damn, 0.2% higher than Toy Story 4.
Damn. Oh, shit.
And then same with Child's Play 2019.
Okay. Yeah, that's not bad.
And then the last one I'm going to do, it is 0.4% higher than Shazam.
All right.
Yeah.
No, that's not bad.
And which I would almost disagree with, but looking back at our the scores,
yeah.
what killed Shazam was the effects. And
Yeah, I remember
kind of
that.
hard to agree with that.
Yeah.
Or kind of hard to disagree with that.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, that's kind of where it's sitting in our rating system.
That's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all. I think that's a very good home for this movie. So, with that, I think that concludes this week's breakdown. Yeah, so if you like this episode, want to check out more of our stuff, you can follow and subscribe to us wherever you listen to podcasts. We are practically everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Like I said, damn near everywhere. If you can't find us, you can probably find us at a different site. You can also catch all of our episodes on YouTube. Be sure to follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/theallbros, Twitter and Instagram @theallbros. If you want to, you can DM us with episode ideas. Want to answer our question of the week, you can do that on our social media. Or if you want to join us, we'd love to have anyone on. You can also email us at theallbroschannel@gmail.com. Check out our website, tinyurl.com/theallbros. Links to everything will be in the description. You can also go to our merch store and support us that way by going to tpublic.com/user/theallbroschannel. Or you could just go to our website and there should be a link to our shop there. And we would love to hear from you guys. So, next week will be our 150th episode of the podcast. And every 50 episodes, Rose and I like to break down a video game. And in this milestones video game will be Marvel's Avengers.
Definitely got a lot to say about this one.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a fun breakdown.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah. But also with this being Christmas, and obviously we want to stay in the Christmas spirit as much as we can, and Avengers is not a Christmas game. So we are going to release a bonus episode on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day?
I'd say Christmas Eve. Why not?
Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
All right, we will be releasing a special bonus episode on Christmas Eve, which will be an Allbros breakdown of Elf.
The Will Ferrell
So be
classic.
sure to look out for that come December 24th, just in case you don't know when Christmas Eve is. And yeah. So be sure to look forward to that, and be sure to check that out. So yeah, until then, this has been the All Bros podcast. I'm Caleb,
And I'm Jonathan.
and we'll catch you guys next. We'll catch you guys on Christmas.
Yeah. Wow, you butchered that.
Yeah, I did. Because I was going to say next week, but we're going to see them before that. Or we're going to talk to them before then.
Well, technically, we'll still be seeing them next week. Well,
True.
yeah.
So we'll see you on whatever. We'll see you on Christmas, and we'll see you on.
When we do plan on recording this next episode, it is the next week.
Fair. Okay,
so,
that works.
See,
so we'll see you
go.
guys next week.
Yeah.
Deuces.
So since you screwed it up, I'm gonna screw mine up too.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't screw up on purpose, asshole.
I know, but I'm just gonna do it out of envy.
All right, whatever.